This is Josiah Plays Pillars of Eternity. Alright, here we are in Maurgek Ian. We're outside of the final area. We are hunting down the master or mistress of these cultists who has sent assassins to kill us for some reason related to the phylactery of Consulhat, the Lich Archmage that we defeated many hours ago. We don't know what it's all about, but we know that probably there's a difficult fight up ahead here. Now, this is where we were at the end of the last episode, last night, when I streamed. And I went through here, and I saw what was on the other side, and we went through the dialogue and stuff, and I was very alarmed and concerned and afraid. And what I've come to find out since then is that this is literally the hardest fight in the entire game. Between the expansion and the main game, this is the hardest fight. I've also learned that it's an optional fight. I can talk my way through this a certain way, and I don't have to fight, and in fact I become allied with the being on the other side of this, and gain some benefits for doing so. That is actually what I would like to do. That is my preferred way to handle this. I would like to do the diplomatic solution this time, because actually I find that I agree with this being and would like to ally with it. So, but I don't want to rob anybody of the excitement of watching me try this fight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. We're going to go through the dialogue again real quick. I'm going to fight him. I'm going to do the fight, and we're going to see what happens. If I win the fight, fine. We'll let it ride. If I fail, I'll try the dialogue again, and I'll try to do something peaceful. And if I fail that and I have to fight him again, I'll fight him one more time. I'll try the fight twice. But if I fail the fight a second time, I'm just going to go through and do whatever I have to do the peaceful solution and not fight them again. That's the plan at this point. So, here we go. Let's go through here. So I come to this point having just defeated the Alpine Dragon and resting on my laurels and excited because I finally beat that damn dragon, and I'm like, okay, that's done. That's behind me. Okay, whew. Good. The hardest stuff is behind me, right? That's what I'm thinking. Alright, I guess I'll read all this again, just because. A wall of thick vines rises from the mud of the bog. They grow in unnatural twining cords, bristling with thorns. Though there are gaps between the vines, maneuvering through will take some care and time. I'll go on through. As you approach the vines, they shudder and pull away from you, forming a clear path through which to cross. You pass safely, only to hear rustling behind you as the vines bar passage, curling into a tight knot of thorns and vegetation. So this is already bad. We've been let in here like they want us in here, and now they've trapped us, so there's no escape. And now we're trapped in a room. Now this guy's going running. What's he doing? He's one of those apprentice guys. He's got a horn. You notice movement up ahead. A robed figure rushes forward, stumbling through the muck. He blows a single piercing tone on a signal horn. The sound carries through the bog, echoing off the cloistered trees and ruins. Beneath it, you hear an ominous rumble, and the murky water to the north begins to bubble and pitch. Uh-oh. A thick, scaly snout crests the water's surface. It is the only warning you receive before a massive beast rises from the bog in a shower of mud and bog water. And at this point, I started to lose my shit last night. I'm like, oh my god, another dragon. You've got to be kidding me. How do I have to fight another dragon already? Fuck, fuck, fuck. But I had no idea. The dragon shakes vegetation from its horns, then lowers its head to set a keen eye upon you. I'm gonna wave. The dragon inclines its head. You think you spy a glint of amusement in its saucer-sized eyes. You notice a small, dark shape in the distance. You feel a sudden, buffeting gust of wind from above as the shape grows. A winged silhouette descends swiftly upon the clearing. As the second dragon comes to a heavy landing, you take note of the figure atop its back. A woman with sweeping horns, garbed in flowing robes. She slides from the dragon's back in one graceful movement. And at this point, I know that I am so fucked. 2 dragons. 2 dragons and this incredibly powerful archmage person. Yeah, double dragon. It's like the old side-scrolling beat-em-up. 2 dragons. And an archmage. And whatever else they happen to have with them. Which they have stuff with them. Believe that. And then I'm like, ah! That's 2 dragons!
The Watcher of Cadnua. I expected you'd find us eventually.
2 dragons and Lengrath. And Lengrath, as we know, is one of the named archmages because some of the spells in the game are named after her. Or him. Alright, let's go through the Lengrath dialogue.
No offense, but if she's hiring, I'm going with her.
Yeah, Devil of Carrick's already thinking about changing teams. In fact, so am I. The devil whistles.
I'm a little more surprised to find you're still carrying that abomination around. I imagine Consulhalt is better company without his tongue.
You were right, Saito. It is an archmage. It's an archmage and 2 dragons! They're like, oh, you feeling good about yourself for defeating a dragon? How about 2 dragons? And an archmage. Fuck me. You sent the assassin?
I sent a scout. Her task was to follow you, no more. But her death was always a possibility. One she accepted. I am Lengroth.
She bows slightly at the waist. You're not old enough to be Lengrath. Even Consulhalt had to resort to magic.
A very different kind of magic. But you're right. There was a man called Lengroth long ago, and there have been many by that name since. Lengroth knew something Consulhalt did not. The brevity of life should be embraced, not feared. Each generation brings with it renewed strength and saves us from stagnation. When his time came, Lengroth was willing to let go, to leave his memories and body behind. He entrusted the gift of his life force, his vibrant spirit, to a worthy successor.
So basically the original Lengrath is gone, but he's passed down his soul to a succession of new Lengraths, kind of like the Dread Pirate Roberts in, I mean, Dread Pirate Roberts wasn't literally passing down his soul, but you know what I mean, in The Princess Bride. Hey, that's what I just said, Saito. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Consulhalt clung to his pathetic existence like a leech. And there are others like him, who would see all the world serve as kindling, if only their flame can go on burning. Consulhalt's knowledge cannot outlive him.
So I'm a loose thread.
Yes, that is where we stand. You have knowledge of Consulhalt's efforts, his limited success. I cannot let you leave. And I have promised Gavanerkos and Turisolvus an opportunity to pit their strength against one of the dragon slayers.
Oh, well, I have killed a couple dragons, but honestly, it was all a big misunderstanding. Can't we just talk about this? How is it you're working with such creatures?
These two? They're quite young, but already appallingly bright. There's no greater aim than to leave behind a lasting legacy, to teach those who will learn.
Lengroth's teachings are interesting. We will strengthen our souls as they do. Morgeth will be our home for eons.
Eons is a long time. Consulhalt and I weren't exactly friends.
And for killing him, at least, I do thank you. But you should not have interfered. Commander Baldur would have brought me the phylactery. All of this could have been avoided.
Why hire the Torn Bannerman anyway?
Discretion. It would hardly have been ideal to fly in atop Gavanerkos and get the attention of every dragon hunter in the region.
I wish you had. It'd be nice to have some other dragon hunters here backing me up.
I'd heard the Bannermen were competent. It turns out that you're more competent.
Why is the phylactery so dangerous?
Think on it. You must have seen how desperately Kith cling to their lives. What measures they're willing to take to ensure theirs is the consciousness that lingers longest. The phylactery was to be Consulhot's great triumph over death. All the evil that Kith have done in search of falsehoods would pale in the face of what they will do for the truth.
I'm not sure everyone's as willing as Consulhot was to carve up their own skulls.
It only takes one.
What if I just give you the phylactery? The moment the words pass your lips, you feel a wave of anger exuding from the skull at your side.
We could simply take it from you. After.
Wait, at least help me understand.
It'd be a shame to die confused.
Good call, Kana.
It's not as if you'll understand for very long, but as you wish.
Do you possess more than Lengrath's title? What about his memories?
His memories, his awareness, those died with him. But his power remains. As a watcher, you must have seen by now that certain spirits possess more strength than others. His knowledge we secure in the usual way. It is my hope that we will someday spread Lengroth's teachings beyond our numbers.
Your books are too small to read. Better to learn it in song.
Song? Not Skull Buddy. Yeah, Skull Buddy.
No singing.
Turasulfus hates him some singing. The dragon grinds its jaws. How did you become Lengrath?
A great deal of study, and a little magic. Once a suitable candidate has been selected, their predecessor gives up his life and essence, and the soul is transferred.
Saito says, also Lengrath, if you're really concerned about people outliving their time, there's this person named Theos you need to be way more concerned about. I know, right? Like, you're barking up the wrong tree here.
I studied for many years, and was selected. But at any step, I might have turned away, buried myself in common living. My choice was to stay.
You don't find that unnatural?
Not at all. The energy of souls is a natural force all around us. Every being leaves traces of their passing, even as their essence finds root in new soil.
It's like the Force from Star Wars.
We accept that the cycle exists, and that death will come. It is what we leave behind that matters. A life bettered by our efforts.
I found some of your victims in the bog.
Intruders, mostly. How pleasant it would be to live in a world where nothing unfortunate ever happened to those who didn't deserve it, don't you think?
This is unfortunately not this world. Think one of the runs finished? Wow, Saito. So you're almost done. You're almost out of there. After such a short time.
That would be dreadful.
Were you and Consulhot always enemies?
No, not at all. Oh, he and the original Lengroth were distantly aware of each other, I'm sure, being masters in their field. I learned of his obsessions too late. Perhaps if we'd been on better terms, I could have convinced him to reconsider. Too late in any case. My apologies, Consulhot.
She smiles at the floating skull. Why are you out here?
Why? Because it's quiet, out of the way. The local wildlife keeps out the rabble.
She laughs.
I've never minded being out in the open air. But some of the apprentices found it difficult at first. But a bright young mind that can't survive contact with blood and dirt will fare very poorly in this world.
Contact with blood and dirt is definitely a necessity. Alright. I feel like we're getting to the point where I have to fight soon. That's all I wondered about.
A curious mind is a gift. Perhaps your soul will retain that quality.
And now I have no options except for to fight. Based on what she says, it appears that consciousness and souls are not the same thing. So what is the base unit of consciousness in this world? I'm not sure. It seems pretty complicated. I don't understand how the whole souls things works with identities, and sometimes they act like souls confer the memories of a person, and sometimes they act like a soul doesn't involve the memories of a person, so it's hard to say. If we must fight, so be it.
Better luck on the next turn of the wheel, my friend. I'm sure you'll be remembered.
I've never eaten a watcher before.
And you're not going to eat one today. Alright. The Phylactery's Promise. Here we go. We've got some Zarups. I'm a little bit concerned about everything here. So what we're going to do is back the fuck up. If your name is not Adair. If your name is Adair, walk the fuck forward.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's an apprentice too. Great. I see a couple dragons, and there's Lengrath back there. Charge Lengrath, go! Oh my god. Oh, and a Bog Lurker and a Zurup Beastmaster? That's like another fucking wizard. Meanwhile, down here. Let's get a quick blessing off. Let's summon some shit. What?! Adair is already... He's paralyzed for 9 seconds and he's already fucking almost dead. This did not start off well. Oh my god. He's already down. Well, this fight's... yeah, we're fucked. Well, okay. Go, resurrect him or whatever. He was not supposed to go down that fast. Let's put it that way. Go after the Zurup Beastmaster. Worms. Go after this Bog Cult Apprentice right here. You. Blast on all this shit. You. Move over here. Get another one of these going.
Our merry friend.
Revive. Where is he? Oh, he was in pig form. Another one of these. Blast on some fools. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Let's see if we can turn... this thing to our side. Nope, it's immune to Dominated and all that. Okay. Obviously so is the dragon. Let's get some paralysis going. Dare's back up. Alright. Off that. Dragon. Where the hell is... there's other ones back there. There's Lengrath. Overwhelming wave. She can come in here. Do this.
I'm ready.
He needs the second wind. She can sworn enemy on... this bog lurker. Alright, he needs to run up and paralyze Cone. This thing needs to do this. This needs to keep killing this apprentice. The rogues. I guess we'll start working on Turosulfus here. She needs to go put a pain block on him. He needs to do... paralyze Cone right here. Oh god, Adair's down. He's dead. Let's see if we can get him back up real quick. Palagina, come over here and try to take this fucking thing out. How are we doing on... let's do Ring of the Ancient Forge. Let's do a heal right here. Dare's back up, but he's only got 115 health. Let's do this fire thing right here. Sato says, my guess is it's something along the lines of the soul being the amalgamation of power, memory, identity, whilst the actual spark of consciousness is something else. Sort of like a speck of dust serving as condensate to a raindrop. Yeah, that's an interesting thought. That does make sense. How are we doing on this dragon? It's paralyzed. I want you to blind it. I want you to weaken it. I want you... the second wind. I want you to Ring of the Ancient Forge. I want you to paralyze some bad things. I want you... Adair has 60 endurance and 94 health left. Maelstrom. Okay. Over here. Uh-oh. Kana. Watch out, Kana. Paralyzed. Nice heal right here. Rogues. Oh, they almost have this one down-ish. Another heal. He's paralyzed. She did her AoE stun already. Let's finish off this bog lurker. Actually, let's do a lay on hands on him. What am I thinking? And a healing chain. Rogues, keep working. Keep working. Oh no! She just went really badly. Talagina has 25. Revival scroll, go. Except she's prone for 7.3 seconds. Fucking vanish, feign death, something. This one still has a lot of health left. Oh, Saito. Alright, take it easy. Hey, have a good one. Thanks for stopping by and chatting as always. Hopefully you get to go home soon. So, see you later. This dragon has not even been touched. Landgrath has barely been touched. This apprentice is almost dead, and Beastmaster's kind of hurt. The Boglurker's almost dead. This dragon is hurt pretty bad, but not bad enough to get through this. Talagina's down. They're all down, so there's no more reviving that can be done, so it's just my rogues. There's no way my two rogues can handle this on their own.
No! Good.
Right here. Right here.
Wait. She's petrified.
Uh-huh.
This is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Lava.
Oh, she's beasted. I think that's about all she wrote right there.
I wasn't made to bend this way.
So that fight is nigh impossible. So it's just that much harder. It's significantly harder than the Alpine Dragon, and I could barely do the Alpine Dragon. So I don't mind saying I can't beat this fight, and I'm going to try to do it the peaceful way. I mean, if there was no peaceful way to do it, then I would have to bash my head against this fight forever until I beat it so that I could complete the quest. But I think I can complete the quest without this fight. It was crazy hard. Crazy hard. Some asshole has soloed this with a paladin on Path to the Damned. I don't know how, but it's madness. So here we are loading. We'll go through the conversation again. I'm not going to read everything and listen to all this stuff. We're just going to zoom through it up to the point where I say something different. I have a pretty good idea of what I need to say. Alright, so we go on through. the dragons, and Lingrath.
The Watcher of Cadnu. I'm a little more surprised to find you're still carrying. I am Lingroth.
Thank you. We have heard of you. She spoke to Lengrath has told.
Lingroth knew something Consulhot did not. When his time, Consulhot's knowledge cannot outlive him. You misunderstand. A wolf devouring if copper wire and glass tubes were enough. Still,
Forbidden knowledge does have a certain lasting appeal.
my successors will seek them out in turn. In truth, I am glad you came. It saves me the effort of chasing you. These two, there's no great...
We will strengthen our...
And for killing him, at least I do. Discretion. I'd heard the bannermen were competent. Think on it. The phylactery was to be consul. It only takes one. We could simply take it from you.
All right. In this
After.
entire playthrough, Katie has never once chosen the diplomatic option. Like an actual option that says diplomatic next to it. Not a single time. This is going to be my first ever diplomatic dialogue option, and hopefully my last as well for this character. Because she's just not a diplomatic kind of person. But in this case, I think she understands that she is outmatched. I'm trying to keep things civil.
Yes. It feels a little macabre for my tastes. Like the Stelgar with a hair.
Wait a minute. I have intellect 16. How can I convince you that I'm not a threat?
Not difficult.
What if I swear to keep the secret of the phylactery?
You would do that? You and I would be the only kith in all Aora to understand Consulhot's work. That would be a heavy secret to carry. It would be very tempting to set it down again.
Wow, there is a whole lot of things that we do not meet the requirement for. Resolve 20, wizard, priest, scholar, scientist, but maybe honest will get it done. On my honor, I swear it.
That's usually a worthless expression. But not in your case. Perhaps there is a way. A pact, if you will. If you truly mean to keep the secret of the phylactery to yourself, we can seal the oath with an exchange. A small transfer of soul essence. I would possess a glimpse of your abilities, and you, a taste of Lingroth's wisdom.
That does sound really good, actually. By soul essence, you mean...
Just that. Nothing untoward, I assure you.
I accept. Begrudgingly, but I do.
Good. Then come closer, and we'll see it done.
So we've entered into a pact with Lingrath. As Lingrath's hands draw away from your face, you feel a distant loss. You suspect you've forgotten something, but you can't remember what or why you should care. There are other memories in its place, not images or events, but a well of information, gleaned over decades, waiting to be recounted. In that moment of discovery, you feel invigorated, powerful.
Are you different?
Gaffinerkos peers down at you. She smells different. Tirasulfus sniffs the air.
There. It is done.
Lengrath appears unchanged, apart from her pleased smile.
I hope much good comes from our alliance. To that end, a parting gift.
See, this is all working out very peacefully and well now. We're getting gifts and stuff.
Go in peace, my friend. May the spirit of Lingroth guide you.
And my stronghold has gained 5 security. That's awesome. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't have to fight them. So glad. Katie was granted mental prowess. What is that?
Huh?
Is that an ability? No. There's been a grand adventure added. Aloth, you wanna get on that? Thanks. Stronghold has a lot of security now. +5 bonus because we're friends with Lingrath, I guess. Parting gift. Did we get anything new here? Fog Dragon Scales. These were given to us. Once full grown, each dragon takes on the traits of the environment it has claimed as its kingdom, and the change is reflected in every aspect of its form. This particular scale has a strange mossy texture as its surface, but it is as solid and hard as steel beneath. The scale's sheen makes it appear slick, though it is dry to the touch. Pretty cool. So, like, he could make his armor. Oh, he can't. It's already got 14 out of 14 enchants. Oh. What about hers? No, she can't either. She can't either. She could. Alright, we'll hold on to him for now, in case they get some better armor or something. Of course, Devil of Karok's body, she can't really do anything else. We could make her body legendary instead of exceptional, which would give her some a nice damage reduction boost. The other one I'll save for now. So I got security for my stronghold. I got bog dragon scales. I got a ton of XP, but I don't need it anymore. Oh, there we go. That, it says right there for bog dragon scales. And I got some ability. Mental prowess. Your truce with Lengrath was sealed with a mutually beneficial exchange, and you have departed from that meeting a little wiser for your troubles. So she gets a +1 to perception. Ooh, that's your accuracy stat. Intellect, that's damage. That's the duration of her status effect, so that's really good. And resolve, which she doesn't care about, but. So wait, these are... Oh, her perception's 25 now, because it stacks with everything else. Oh, that's great. That's so great. See, that was worth it. You don't get that if you kill him.
Let's see what lies this way.
That was really worth it. What's the quest say now? It's done. The architect of the siege on Consulhat's tower was revealed to be an heir of the Archmage Lengrath, inheritor of his name and title. After some deliberation, we came to terms rather than blows. Lengrath has shared with me some portion of her collected wisdom. That is really cool. So now, man, look how many things we've completed. That's why this playthrough is so long. Okay, so now we've got... Ooh, we should do this next before we move on. No. I'm going to save this until after I've done more of the main story, I think. Call to court. So we have a bounty in an area we haven't been to yet in the main game areas. These 2 companion quests that we can't do anything with yet. These, and then these, 3 companion quests we can't do anything with yet. And then these 2 side quests in the main story areas, and then the main story quest itself. So we are ready to finally get back to the base game. Now that we have completed... Let's look around in here. There might be some treasure or something we can take. Some tin hats. Glad I avoided that fight, because honestly, it was too hard for me. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Too hard for me. Okay. And we've cleared this place. Morgekian. Defeated. Cleared. Done. Alright. So now... we've done everything here. The White March is officially now 100% complete. So now... we shall... go quickly to Cadnua. We shall go quickly to Cadnua.
This place, as beautiful as it can be with the absence of children.
Alright, we're gonna rest. And... I guess it's time to go speak with the Dilemgun at Tir Evron. This is where we ended Seraphina's portion of the playthrough. The last thing I'd ever did with Seraphina was this conversation with these Dilemgun. And now we've finally come back to that part. Finally. Let me just check something out real quick. So check this out. Load game. Here's where we are. 124 hours, 36 minutes. Coming down here. Right here. This is where we were at when I started playing Katie on stream and for video. When I came back and started doing part 94 onwards of my series. After the long break. We started right here at 55 hours, 22 minutes. So, it has been like 69 hours of gameplay to do the expansion and the other side stuff that we did, the rest of Odd Nua and those other bounties and stuff that we did. So, we're now going back to where we started with Katie and going to continue that there. And it's been 69 hours of stuff in between. That is crazy. That is really crazy. I got a lot of content out of that expansion. A lot. Alright. So, here we go. Here we go. Here's my team. I'm sticking with them. Back to, I guess it's Old Song, right? Or is it Elm's Reach? Elm's Reach. I don't think I've ever been to Old Song as Seraphina or Katie. I don't think I've been to Old Song or Burial Isle or Northweald. I know I haven't been to those two. I'm pretty sure I haven't been to that one. I think I've just been to Hearthsong and Elm's Reach. That's all in Twin Elms. So let's go back to Elm's Reach then. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're finally getting back on the main quest. Back to the main game. Almost 70 hours later. Ah, it's exciting. So cool to be done with the White March finally. That took a very long time, but it was really good. Really good expansion. Huge amount of content. Great storylines. Great lore stuff. Really great challenging fights. Interesting enemy types and just a lot of stuff. Awesome. Really cool loot and items. Had some good new music. Alright. Paid our people $650. I mean, I wish I could give our people a raise, because I have so much money. I would happily just pay them more if I could, but... I mean, we're paying this knight 10 copper a day. 10 copper a day. That is not a lot of copper. Can't even get a room at the inn for that. Alright. We're back here. Now, what was actually going on in this place? Hall of Warriors. I remember we went in there. I think we got in a big fight in there. We haven't been in Blood Sands yet, because we have not crossed this bridge. Standing right here in front of this bridge is where we... Intruder cannot hide from us. I think the intruder they're talking about is Theos, who has come here. And gotten into this... into their Ter Avron, the tower here. And I think we're going to get, like, permission to go into Ter Avron or something. So right here is where we started. Where we started with Katie. In front of this bridge. Almost 70 hours ago. Let's do another save. And let's go across here and have this nice conversation with the Delemgan. Let's read our quest here and get caught back up with what's going on. In fact, let's take a look at... Have we had a vision lately? On your way to Twin Elms, you had another vision of Theos. He referred to you as Inquisitor, and he referred to a growing movement of people gathering around a heretic woman named Iovara Ix Encios. He sought her apprehension. Given your connection with Iovara, he asked you to aid him in bringing her to justice. He implied that treachery would be involved. Okay, so we've had some visions. Let's get caught up on the old biography here. I'm going to read a bunch of biography right now, just so I am re-caught up on everything that's going on with the main story since it's been so long. At the Animancy hearings, though your arguments about Animancy seemed to hold little sway, you made a case against the Leaden Key. Before Duke Evar had even so much as finished his proclamation, however, Theos possessed the body of an Animancer and assassinated the Duke, sending all of Defiance Bay into a frenzy. You followed Theos' trail to Dunreed Row, where you found all its ciphers murdered, including Lady Webb. But in examining the last moments of her life through her soul, you were able to learn that Theos was headed next for Twin Elms. You learned of the grieving mother, delivered some of the first Hollowborn in the Deerwood. Out of fear for the children's lives and her own, she made the parents see them as whole and healthy. You convinced her that this was a grievous wrong. The grieving mother asked you to wipe her soul of the painful memories of the birthing bell. You agreed to grant her this peace. In Twin Elms, you found that most districts were closed to outsiders, but were able to persuade the Amenfath to allow you inside. Palagina remained loyal to her order and presented a trade officer that will enrich the dukes at the expense of the Deerwood. You began exploring the extensive dungeon beneath your keep. Kana found the tablet only to learn that it had long since been destroyed. You reached Stalwart only to find it under attack and half destroyed by a mob of ogres. You helped the townsfolk defeat them, but the damage was already severe. While in Stalwart, you met Zahua, a monk from Ixamidal, and invited him to travel with you. Renengild, the mayor of Stalwart, told you about Durgan's Battery, an ancient dwarven fortress, and the town's attempts to reach a powerful forge within it. In Stalwart, you met Maneha, an Andrite gift-bearer. She explained that she was searching for the Abbey of the Fallen Moon, where she was bound to deposit tokens of the faithful. You found the ogre matron Baragon, and slew her in her clan's cave in the Russet Wood. You met Galvino, an eccentric and cantankerous old inventor living near Durgan's Battery. He told you about the tradition of Cantex among the Pargrunan dwarves, and introduced you to the Devil of Karok, a construct he built. The Devil of Karok, a sentient construct with the soul of a murderer, asked to join you, and you agreed. The Devil of Karok revealed that she is still hunting for a man who took part in the purge of her village. You learned how to open the gates of Durgan's Battery and became the first person in 2 centuries to enter the old fortress. At the bottom of Durgan's Battery, you found the White Forge, which the Pargrunan dwarves used to bind themselves into the fortress. After speaking with the battery's commandants, you released the souls of the dwarves back to the wheel, where they can rejoin the cycle of life and death. After finding Harmkey, the man the Devil of Karok had sought, you read his soul and explained that he was responsible for the destruction of the Devil's home in Cold Morn. She took her revenge on him. After your adventures at Durgan's Battery, you dreamed of an army that descended from the mountains and hunted you to your keep. You realized that something in the White March would destroy you if left unchecked. Deep within the endless paths of Odnua, you encountered an ancient and powerful dragon, and killed it. You learned of the Iron Flail, an armed band from Red Saris that had built a fort near Durgan's Battery in hopes of seizing the White Forge. Zahua told you about his training as a warrior and about his master, who had held back the final part of Zahua's instruction. At the Iron Flail's fort, you encountered a mysterious Andrite. She killed herself before you could speak with her, but in her departing soul you saw the Abbey of the Fallen Moon, the key to stopping the army of Ilis. You reached the Abbey of the Fallen Moon and discovered Abaddon's ancient corpse. You learned that he had sacrificed himself to save Aora's civilizations from a fragment of the moon, which Andra had pulled from the sky. You learned that Maneha carried a terrible burden, a memory of her crimes in a past life. She confided that this is what she truly intended to leave behind at the Abbey. With your help, Maneha found the salt well at the Abbey of the Fallen Moon. There, she surrendered her painful memory to Andra. She emerged with no recollection of the events that had haunted her. You reforged Abaddon's hammer with a fragment that you'd found among his remains. Thus armed, you were ready to face the Eyeless. You tracked the Eyeless to a hollow piece of the moon buried at Kairin's Scar. You destroyed this fragment with the Eyeless inside, ending their threat once and for all. In the essence of the Eyeless, you recognize pieces of Abaddon, their original creator. You restored this essence to Abaddon, giving him the memory of his death and his former purpose of preservation. So that is all that's happened since we started playing Katie. And now, here we are, doing this quest. I saw Lady Webb's last moments. Theos killed her in her bed, but not before she got him to admit he was headed to Twin Elms. I wonder if she did that knowing that I'd see it. Search Twin Elms for signs of Theos. I have reached Twin Elms. The city has a front gate. With any luck, someone saw him when he passed through. I'll have to ask around. Foreigners are forbidden from going deeper into the city. They said that Amenfath Bethel, currently residing in the Passage of the Six in the middle of Hearthsong, could grant me entry to the other districts. Clonfothans of Twin Elms have heard of a mysterious man, a foreigner, that recently broke into one of their forbidden districts, Elm's Reach. Seek audience with the Anamenfath in the Passage of the Six. I was told that foreigners are not allowed beyond Hearthsong. I will have to speak with the presiding Anamenfath in the Passage of the Six to get permission. Which apparently we did. Speak with the Delemgan, or the Delemgan, at Tir Evron in Elm's Reach. Anamenfath Bethel has granted me access to the Old Song and Elm's Reach districts. She suggested that I speak with the Delemgan sisters in Elm's Reach near a place called Tir Evron. Glenfothans have told me that I can find the Delemgan sisters under the giant trees of Elm's Reach. Theos has killed the Duke and Lady Webb and sent Defiance Bay into chaos, but Lady Webb saw where he intended to go next, to the city of Twin Elms. It is there I must go, if there is any chance of catching up to him. So that's where we're at. We're chasing Theos. We know he was here. We know he broke into Elm's Reach. We've gotten permission to come to this thing. Now we got to talk to the Delemgan sisters, because they're the ones that know what's going on, and they're across this bridge. And in our next episode, that is exactly what we will do. But that's going to do it for this one. So thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Pillars of Eternity.